So a few final things to do on the Golf before she goes back on the road, hopefully in the next week. I have an oil leak. It's coming down the back of the engine onto the turbo. You can't quite see it on the camera. It's bad enough that once I've run the engine, it's up to temperature, open the bonnet, you do get smoke coming out the back. Pretty sure it's down to the cam cover or rocker cover gasket, which is this top part of the engine. If you have oil leaking from the join here on your car, it doesn't have to be one of these engines, it could be literally any engine. They all have cam covers and the gaskets do tend to fail. That's probably what it is. It is a fairly straightforward do-at-home repair. This is the new part. This one has a gasket for the spark plugs as well, which goes to the middle. I'll show you when it's all apart. A lot of cars just have this out a bit. And it is very simple. Case of undoing the screws around the outside, disconnect any of the hoses attached to it. Breather hoses, obviously, wiring loom, coil packs have got to come out. And in our case here, the timing belt cover will need to, doesn't necessarily have to come off, but it's got to come back out the way. So I'm going to undo these Allen screws and random screw, take the coil packs out, remove the wiring loom, and then in my case I've got these nuts that are 10 millimeters. But that is off. They do tend to stick a bit. Right, put that down there because you can see our gasket is stuck on. This is the inside of the engine, as you can see. It's a bit dirty, a bit grubby, but never mind. Take this gasket off, we'll have a look at it. Right, that's the spark plug gasket. And there we go. You can see these gaskets definitely seen better days. Yeah. So, in our case, that gasket sits in a groove along here. Oh, another bit of gasket there. Yeah, it sits in the groove at the front and rear of the engine. There's another groove just there, and then along here it's just got a flat surface. It's this rear corner here that I think it was leaking from. There's actually a lot of pooled oil on the back there. What I'm going to do next is get a rag, nice clean rag, clean all the oil off of the edges. Then that'll give us a nice service to put the new gasket on, and then we just bolt the cam cover back on. Right, I've given the cover, rocker cover, cam cover, whatever you want to call it, a bit of a clean. I've not really done, not going too much detail, just make it look a bit smarter. So we are ready to put the gasket on. Let's start with this one. So you want to make a note of where the holes are, and that's that way around. There we go, that's all on. You will also note I have cleaned up the edges with a piece of Scotch-Brite. I've done the same on the cam cover and the edges there. This one's going to be a little bit fiddlier to do one-handed, I think. One thing we've got to bear in mind is this one's got a little D piece in it there, which locates down there. So that literally gives us the one and only option of which way around this goes. So again, it's just a case of lining up the bolt holes. There we go. Just make sure that the edges this side are all sat in the groove and there. And then should be good to put the cam cover on. Okay, so cam cover is back on. I've put the nuts on hand tight. Now it's always worth just checking any torque settings for the cam cover, nuts, bolts, screws, whatever it is that's holding yours on. If you haven't got one, it's still always good practice to work in a circular motion, just so that the gasket can seat evenly. This one does have torque settings of 10 Newton meters, which is pretty much nothing. All torqued up, coil packs are back in, the wiring loom's back on. All I've got left to do is chuck that breather on there, like so, and we're good for a test drive. Thanks for watching. hopefully now you're happy, comfortable enough replacing your own rocker slash cam cover gasket, and catch you next time.